Before I sign off, I forgot I wanted to show some tricks. So I might pay another 30 crystals if I have to. I really hope. I don't want to, but especially because it's not useful at this point in time. Like, I could literally fall 10, 20 ranks tomorrow and just not give a shit until Sunday. Because if you know that you can always win your fights, then you can just rank up so fast. It doesn't, like, everybody's going to give you just more points, so it's just more efficient to do it later on. But I want to get a couple trick videos in, just with different movement things that are going to help people earlier on, where every little bit in formation is really, really, really impactful. Like, tricks like this, with the Serenity, if you can get an extra movement on Serenity with, like, you're going to have her passive, her costume, and then an extra piece, unless you just have a ghost step. But awesome spot. The only downside is another Serenity can hit you if they have it in the second spot. So just be wary of that. Unless you know that you're just going to stomp them in the face, then like I usually am not worried about that. Like, as you can see, all my heroes are basically Bearman's still standing. He's just there as a pylon anyway, and all my other heroes are basically untouched. So I usually just ignore it, even if they have a Serenity in the second slot, because all it really does for me is brings the character closer to Kai. Oh man, that was a really long pause between sneezes. I hate being sick. But I do want to go over some really core positions and movements, because I've played the shit out of this formation. Oh my god, I didn't kill somebody? What the hell? What the hell, man? If only Bearman were not stunned and he could have... Alright, you know what? That was the coolest skill I've ever seen in my entire life. But if only Bearman was not stunned. Oh man, gotta get stun immunity. I tried to get stun immunity on Kai today, because the one thing that I noticed is that Bearman gets charmed quite often, because I don't have charm immunity on him, and then he'll stun Kai. He, like, no matter what map it is, Bearman will stun Kai. He will go and attack Kai, and it always stuns me. It always works. I can't believe I haven't gotten a bridge map that I've gotten to go first on yet. Always keep a mental note of what your losses are, by the way, because revenges are like an amazing way to rank up. Because I am just kind of sleepless right now, I am going to be doing a long, long chain of videos tonight. Maybe continue it in the morning if I get bored. But I'm going to do a in-depth-ish review of all the heroes in the game that are playable. Now, somebody told me that Klein was playable today. There's no way that's true, right? I don't know how you could get Klein, if that's possible at all. Maybe some people are thinking that perfect genes are a way that he can be used. That would make sense. I guess I'll do it this way instead this time. I usually just sack the Bearman and go kill the Jack while he's still weak, but whatever. Maybe I can stun the Jack. He had charm immunity. Does he have stun immunity too? Nope. Perfect win. But I'm going to do an in-depth on all playable characters, about what, and strictly PvP. If they're PvE heroes, I'll basically say it. I'll give a few reasons why, and I'm going to move on, because I don't have a day to talk about every single hero and why I've decided that they're amazing or not amazing or whatever. But right now I am convinced that the best 4 heroes in the game are Chenny, Serenity, Kai, and Bearman. And the importance of the hero and how good it is in relation to the 4 slots in Battle of Honor. Obviously there's a lot of better heroes than Bearman, but those heroes can't do what Bearman does. And that's just the problem. there's two types of heroes in the game that have the best advantages. I want to talk real quick about just heroes in general. The best heroes in the game, in my opinion, are all balanced. Every hero that's got the balance type is completely imbalanced. And the reason I feel that is because pure types, not when I say pure type, I mean like an attack type or a defense type. Area attack heroes, they have their own category called absolute shit, and you can tell that by looking at the set equipment over here in the collection. When you find every piece of set equipment that, it's more at the lower grades, every single one that says if it's for area attack heroes only. Where's the first one? Here we go. Oh, hooray! Extra MP. Exactly what I needed. I'm going to turn my brightness up for a second. Exactly what I needed. More MP. Now that I have more MP, I can still waste a lot of money to get a set gear that didn't give me any extra damage. Oh, look. Same rank. Same rank. Basically the exact same set. Oh, area attack type character only. Recover MP. Increase final skill power by 250. It's I don't know what it is, but it just seems like area attack type characters have this monopoly on really shitty equipment. They have the highest mana pools in the game, and that all their gear gives them NP. It's who thought this was a great idea? Anyway, it pisses me off because these are like the most common sets in the game. Obviously, I'm sure everybody who buys equipment or whatever has had their inventory flooded with these at some point in time, and they're all completely useless. I wonder if you could stack every single one of them on a character and get all the ones with the final skill power, if that would actually be impactful for you or not. I don't even know how good final skill power is, because it's one of those weird mechanics where it's very hard to define what it would be. It'd be really cool if it just converted to a percent, and then it was just like saying, "Oh yeah, you get another 2,000 some skill power, so you get 200 more percent." That would be a cool transfer. Oh, what do we have here? The shittiest 3-star set gear. That's amazing. It's amazing how that you could literally just tell all the worst pieces of gear by that simple fact. Now there are pieces like this that only work in like Dimensional Breakthrough and whatever, but at least they give you these amazing things while you're farming Dimensional Breakthrough. If you're Hellfire abusing your way through Dimensional Breakthrough, I'm sure that doesn't matter. But if you're trying to beat it like legitimately in some way, that's a pretty damn useful set. Look at all these great. This tripped me up because the first time I saw it, I thought it was area attack characters only, so I equipped it to Deb, and then I realized later, oh wait, it's some shitty thing about falling below MP. But you know what that is? That's a lot of synergy with all these other set pieces that give you extra MP. So for your sacrifice of all those slots, you'll get 2,000 attack and another 750 final skill power. Congratulations. You'll just need like 3 turns to get that low. By the way, if you don't stack the MP and you're thinking, well, what if I just did it and then whatever, I'll be super strong. Generally under 40%, if you had a low mana pool so you can get it to activate on your second turn, then you wouldn't have enough mana to cast your third skill a second time if it was maxed out and whatever, and you really did have enough to go. Like if you cast it once and you're under 40% MP, you got to think about that. If it's costing you 60%, and or more than 60% because your turn comes around and you have regen and you're still under 40%, then your third skill costs way too much mana in relation to what it is. So it'd basically be impossible to get that effect to activate until turn 3. So I guess the strategy is to put a ghost up on and run away from people with Dacimeters and Beast Drains for 2 or 3 turns, but somehow find something to attack to drain your own mana, and then you will show them by a very minor amount of damage. But those are all basically the worst sets in the game, and the worst heroes. But tanks, And attack type characters have by far the best gear. There's a lot of pieces that say for defense type characters only. Eldritch's Trinity is my favorite piece of equipment. I think it's the best piece of equipment in the game. Now that point is up for debate. It's not a fact. It's just my opinion, and I really, really want one. I think that set's awesome. It's the only thing I really, really, really ultimately want for my Bearman, because I know if I get it on my Bearman, then max out my Bearman, he'll be sitting around like 140, 150k health. Oh, it'll be glorious. But that's my favorite set, and that's because I'm enamored with tanks. I think that that aggro is very underrated, and it's one of the best mechanics in the game because it lets you control your opponents. Now I think there's a 3-star set that gives you aggro too. I could be wrong. I'll have to go and check on the list again. But I'm definitely going to be looking for that because my Bearman right now, he's got some great ish potentials on some of his stuff, but it ain't no set gear bonuses. Anyway, but I think that tanks are amazing because controlling them, if you can control both teams, how could you possibly lose? I think that if you have this unkillable thing on turn 1, and you can control where your enemy's going to move, then you just have like, how is it possible for you to lose at that point in time? It just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, defense type characters aside, attack type characters have really insane stuff. So I'm going to go back to the gear types again, the collection. And the most broken piece of equipment in the game, by far the best piece of equipment in the game. Now, partly because of the synergy with a lot of other pieces, like say if you had this piece, for example, and then you had the DB sets, the Deso and the Beast Rain sets, then the God of Massacre set would be completely insane. You could have characters, like based off some rough math, you could have characters with, I think, attack type characters only. So the strongest attack type character I could think of is Spirits Unknown, which has 33,000 attack right now. And with this, he would basically have around 90 to 100,000 attack for the first 2 turns of combat. With his Dasso and his Beast Rain set. But right now, with those things, he's got only 50,000 attack, which is weird. Maybe I'm just doing the math really wrong, because it does say that it gives you a 60% buff. So I'm thinking it gives you 120%, and that he'd be easily 40 to 45,000 attack naturally, just with this piece equipped, and then the 120% more of that, which should, like in my mind, that should have gone up another 54,000, so it should be like 99,000. But obviously he's got 33 attack, and he only goes up to 33,000 attack, and he only goes up 20,000 attack. So the 60% effect. Well, you know what? That's actually weird. I don't know how it really calculates that. I don't know what it calculates it off of then. Maybe it calculates before your potentials are added in, or something like that. Or maybe it calculates as one of your potentials. So you would have to do your attack before any of your potentials are on. So if you have like plus 10% attack on a weapon, and then 6% on this one and 4% on that one, you have to take all those off, and then you have to add them to the 60 and whatever. So your actual attack goes down a huge amount. But before it benefits from the Dasso and Beast sets. But this gives you a flat bonus. It's not even for this condition do it. Now, what's important about ones that are under a condition is because it's not part of your base, it doesn't reflect in your stats as accurately. So you could have some ninja sneaky characters sometimes. But this, like someone's going to inspect you and they're going to be like, why do you have 40,000 attack? What the hell? We're not in battle. How do you have the beast rain effect working right now? There are going to be some crazy things with this set. The most bullshit thing about this set is you only need 2 pieces. That is this should be quadruple S. This is so broken. It's not surprising why it hasn't come out yet. I've heard some people saying today that it might not even come out because it is in definite need of requiring some balancing. Like they could increase the attack by 3,000, and it's the problem isn't the increase and all that. It's the synergy with all the other best pieces for the different stages. There's no gradual combination. There's this God combination that just destroys everything, and that fits nicely for God of Massacre. But let's look at some of the other attack type only character items. And I'm going to look for the 4-star whatever piece. Alright, it's 5-star, so we're going down to the 4 stars here. Alright, this is definitely not it. Anything that has an activation thing is completely useless. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I was talking about Aaron's son, about one of the set pieces. Now, this says activates on owner's skill use on enemy. And this set up here, whenever we get to it. Am I not going to... What? Oh. Okay, maybe it's for SS. Alright, this step right here activates on owner's skill use. So this works when you use even characters that buff. It will turn on the effect. That's what I interpret from this, but I think that it activates after. So you use it and then it turns the effect on for 1 turn. Aaron's son's interpretation of this is when you use your skill, when you you actually select it, it activates before the skill itself is actually used. I think that the effect activates after a use, and he thinks it acts before the use. And the way that it's worded, it's not really clear. And this set, to be honest, even if it is before, it just doesn't justify being SS. It's not very good. But he was thinking it would be a good use for Ferrule with his passive. Some good combinations there with the extra critical damage. But now that I was looking at that other... Where are we? Did I just pass it again? Where's that one that has all of Jenny's gear? It looks just like Jenny. There we are. Right above it. Now that I read this one, this is specified on an enemy. So he could read the same thing this way, but I think that the way that it's worded on the one below is because of this one right above it. They're both new sets. One would be good for attackers only, and one would be good for man, I'm just having a huge blank out here. And one would be good for a character that has maybe like a crit buff or something. Somebody like Jillen. Though this set looks way better, just looking at it. Every time you use the skill, great for PvE. But generally they're useless sets. Anyway, we're talking about amazing sets for attackers only, right? So that's no interest to us. Where is a good attacker? Oh, 1 second. Is this? No, that's 4-star. Looking for 3-star. Alright, Persona's Trick. Now, what I don't like about this set, well, it's A rank, which means I'm not going to get much, but an extra 7% flat attack and 800 crit rate is cool. Plus, the weapon is a sword, so you kind of get your hit rate knocked off in the process, and it's the HP defense, so you have a good balance. So you got HP dodge, you got defense, and you got hit. So that's like a more balanced set for an attack type hero. You don't want to have no defense, but for the most part, you want to be more relying on dodge. That's just your typical regular DPS like character's nature in any MMO. So it's kind of a nice thing. I don't think that's the most optimal way to build it, but it's kind of a nice thing to have it like that. Now it stinks that it's A rank, because I think if there was an S rank decent thing, it would be a lot better. No goods, no goods. Show me the attack type only. What's this for? Yeah, alright. The Royal Assassin, down into the 3 stars. Again, huge crit rate and some extra attack again. Another 1,000 attack. So for the most part, crit rate, attack type characters have this great... I'm going to not just do damage, I'm going to do crit damage to you all the time. Kind of thing going on with all their gear. This set always looks great on turn 1, but you got to keep in mind, it's if all allies are alive. You're going to lose somebody on turn 1 most of the time if somebody's attacking you, so don't think that's going to help you defend against people. I think this is attack only also, yeah. Advanced strategy power and another 1,000 attack. Attack type characters only, like, what's nice about them is a lot of their gear gives flat rate increases. And flat rate increases that are actually decent size really, really, really help your percentages. If you have all percentages, it's like with the Dasso and the Beast Rain set that we were just talking about. So I was thinking, well, why is Unknown's attack only going up another 17,000? And then we conclude, well, it must be because the potentials are all being added together as one. It's not your 33,000 being calculated on the 260% potentials or skill bonuses or set bonuses. It's all the percent increases being calculated at the same time. So having flat rates that give you definite increases to your base are going to give you much better returns than having if they're decent size. Like anything, let's say you have 20,000 attack and you get a thing that gives you an extra 10%. That's 2,000 attack. That's great. But having an extra 1,000 attack and then having a potential that grants 10% on that 1,000 extra attack, and then you have it for like 3-4 stages. Let's go down to the other one so we can go. I think there's the attack type character one for 2-star is let's see, what does it do? I think it's a 10% buff. Yeah, attack by 10% in one movement. This is one of the best 2-star pieces that isn't a Dasso suit. Like, if it wasn't for the Dasso, then I would say that this was the best. But again, oh, sorry, this isn't even. I thought this was attack type character only. That's my mistake. Is there nothing for attack type character only for slot 2? Oh, here it is. So it's another flat attack rate and crit rate. So they basically all follow this kind of pattern. So there's going to be one for every stage, I believe. And they're going to give you a huge amount of crit rate and flat attack. And it's going to transfer great with your potentials. But what I do not understand is how they go from this. Oh, this one's cool. I like this one, actually, yeah. I think I have this set, too. I just don't have any... I'm not using any attack type characters right now. But the 4% flat and 380 attack, that's... for a 1-star gear, that's pretty good. Oh, yeah, I do have 2 pieces for it. I don't have a 3rd one. But what I don't get is how they have this great stuff going for attack, and everything all seems well and fair and balanced. And then out of absolutely nowhere, when 4-star jumps to 5-star, let's do. So then they just go, well, let's go 7,000. Let's go 7,000 attack instead of 1,000 attack. I think 7's where we're really aiming at right now. It just didn't make any sense to me. The Persona's trick set, again, also doesn't make any sense to me. Now, maybe this set is so good because the 4-star Persona's trick for attack characters ain't that great. but like that piece of gear is just too. It's too much. I hope it doesn't come out. But balanced characters. Now, what's nice about balanced characters is the way that they've been designed is that they're just so damn perfect and so good and so strong that they don't need any of that shit. They don't need to use things like like what makes a set like the God of Massacre so great is, you know what, if you are an attack hero, it makes you have this great huge advantage now. But having the omniscient and omnipotent set, for example, I'm pretty sure a balanced character wouldn't mind the trade-off for all the extra utility and defense that they're going to have and other kind of abilities that they're going to be able to pull on instead of just the straight-up attack. Also, they're not going to have any trouble one-hitting that same attack character with all this attack stuff on it. This is going to be zero problem at all. There's no real balance with balanced heroes is basically all I'm really trying to say, because there's so many good, like, blow your mind amazing sets. Like, I think the Pathfinder set is so spectacular. It doesn't look very good, but it's really good. I want to my goal for 4-star: 1 Ghost Step, 2 Pathfinders, and I like, because the event that was going on, I got the tanky set that I wanted, which is this one right here, for my tank. This aggro is OP. So I am missing a bow and a shoe piece. I'm missing 1 bow and 1 shoe for Pathfinder, and as soon as I get it, they're going on Kai. And as soon as I have money to rank them up, I guess. I might need a couple of days farming and Dimensional Breakthrough for that, but what I'm hoping, my hope, is that I can clear tower really fast, see what I got, and then go from there, because I think the Black Capsule event is lasting for quite a while. Yeah, okay, so this is going to be on for a week. The tower's going to reset soon, and I want this Pathfinder so bad. I wouldn't even mind an extra Crusaders Light set, just because I like having some extra versatility and having Chris and whatever in my party. Though, like, the only person I can see myself wanting to use Chris and Carrot at this point in time, because I did get really lucky with sets today, and my gear is less balanced on my characters. It's really stacked towards the one that I have. I kind of would rather. It's just Blue Sapphire's Jack that I don't like fighting. Because I don't want him to attack me at all, like, ever. It's kind of easy to cock block him, like you're on the ice map, and then one hero gets in front of him to the bridge first, and then you just block him and he can't come across, and you just kill them both. Like little really simple things work on it, just because it's Jack. It's so easy to work around, but I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have this character that could just come up and, take away 3/4 of my Chinese health and then heal himself back up by a whole bunch. Because all my characters, the way that I'm going to be building them, is going to be super high HP heavy. And that's actually going to be good for people that are running Jack when they're playing against me. The downside is that they're going to have to run Jack, and Jack's a shitty hero for PvP. Anyway, I haven't even talked about a single character yet. Because I'm totally bad at this videos and streaming and whatever thing. But I think I'll just end this video here for that. Just some hero types are really broken, and I'll make a new one after this one. I'll put it up right away, and I'll go over a quick tier list of all the heroes you see here. and these ones that I can sort of get. But I do not have. Characters that I'm looking out for. Everybody in the world wants psychokinetically. And I mean, even the people that don't play this game, they're like, man, if I play Fantasy War Tactics, totally Lee would be, but he would be my go-to man. Somebody was telling me, yeah, okay. I don't really know how good this skill is on Rage. But what I do know is some characters that ignore defense in green writing. So Rage might actually be amazing. The only thing that I don't like about this skill is it's not going to be super useful. I have the same problem with Rage that I have with Fool. You make this great character that it looks like it's a superpowered carrot, for example, and it doesn't have the 5 range. And the game is really, really low on these 5 range heroes, and the mechanics, like if there was a set that added 1 range to your skills, then that set would be blow your mind amazing, because every every high end level at the end of the day, they'd probably make it so you need this set or you can't beat like stage 10 of this kind of thing. They would just make it so everything's 5 away, and you need to have 4 of these sets on your PvE characters to do it. It'd be funny. It sounds like something that Nexon would do. I've been playing Nexon games since I was like, for like at least 12 or 13 years now. So I've seen how great Nexon as a company is, but how shitty Nexon America is. What I like about this is it's Nexon GT, but I'm sure Nexon America has some kind of hand in how all the pricing and all the rip-offs are done in this game, because I think that the purchasers are very, very bad value for what you get. And I'm sure they would fall back that it's to stunt the growth of the game, but obviously people just pay the money anyway, and it just puts a big difference in balance of power. I think that the tower was the greatest thing that they did patch-wise for players, even better than the extra genes and extra gold rate drops and things like that. I think that that is not as good as what they did with tower. I just think that they should have made tower manageable. Actually, the biggest reason I started making videos was because I thought I thought, this is complete bullshit. Like, I got to like stage 20 and I'm thinking to myself, how are people gonna be able to capitalize and get these rewards without full 5-star teams in the first place? They're gonna have to waste all their energy for farming and everything that they're gonna be using on trying to beat this bloody tower and just failing miserably 100 times the level until they get up to as high as they can. And eventually they'll just get one shot by everything. Like, I was really upset first time. Like, I was happy and upset at the same time, because they have all these rewards that look like it's going to be super helpful for free-to-play players and really kind of help balance the game out. And even pay-to-play players make things easier on people who have a little bit of patience but know it's not practical for them to ever naturally get set gear. Now there's this way to get set gear just by normal play. And we've got a bunch of good gear and whatever that we've ended up paying money for, and now we can farm it efficiently already. So like I thought that it was a great idea that everybody could win at, and then it turns out a bunch of people who spent money still can't win because they made it so damn hard. And this is apparently the normal difficulty. So we'll see how this goes, but we need more 5-range heroes. We need way more 5-range heroes. I don't want like shitty heroes with 5 range to become like, I don't, who even has 5 range? Lee's got 5 range because he's a badass, right? Look at this monster. I think Lance has 5 range, or sorry, Lance or Alex. I always call him freaking Lance. Yeah. But if you didn't get Alex, then what characters have 5 range? Does Persona have 5 range? Nope. Let's see. Who do I know nothing about? Well, let's look at you just in case. I don't think so. Oh, shit. Look at this. There's a reason to raise Electra. She's useful. She's got 1 5-range skill. Her basic attack. Go for it, everybody raise her right now. So, basically, if you have 5 range, it's universally well known that you're absolute shit. Come on, Pony, you're my man. Nope, nothing. Yeah, there's no way any melee hero has it. No way Moa, no way Kitty has one either. Oh, Kitty does have one. Sweet deal. Alright, Kitty. There we go. Hero with a 5-range attack. So, I keep seeing that all the 5-range attack heroes have one thing in common. None of them are any good at all. That's unfortunate. And the ones that are amazing are not out. Oh man, I want Lee so bad. But Gunner Rage, his defense ignore might work the same as Kai's, where I think it might actually ignore percent, even though it says a flat rate. When it's in the green writing, I think that there's something screwy with the system right now, and it's calculating a percent from a green written number. Because like you'll see Chenny's defense ignore is written in red numbers, and Lee, Kai, and Rage all have theirs in green numbers. Chris has hers in red numbers. Like there's differences. Now I don't think that wording to the text and the translation of this game is particularly good, but I do think that color rendering for different things is somewhat important. Now it could just be another minor mistake, and they could all work just the same. But I've noticed some kind of little discrepancies with that. But there are graphical glitches and image glitches in the game. Like for example, Golem Lance, his skill has the armor ignore symbol for defense decrease. So that should be all right. Great, I have Ian right beside him. This symbol right here with the broken shield is the one that takes away defense. This is the one that ignores armor. So like Chenny also ignores armor. Has her defense minus written in red. Kai ignores armor. Has his defense written in green. For some reason he has brackets too. Like see, it's so hard to make accurate predictions about this game. Anyway, I'm just trying to figure out why Kai's damage is so outrageously high. It doesn't seem to make sense, no matter how many times I do the math, because I've fought characters that have 9,000 or whatever defense, and Kai still hits like a trunk and just kills them. So I really just don't get it. Another thing that I don't get is that rock, paper, scissors advantage, I believe also works on defense, not just attack. So I think if you're attacking a paper character with a rock character, you do less damage. I don't think it's a one-way streak for attackers. I think it works both ways. Well, that's probably common knowledge, but correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video up here, and then I'm gonna post a tier list of different characters.